Okay, so the very first book that I read this year was a doozy. It's Alice by Christina Henry. It's dark. I loved it, but it is a dark book. A really good way to start off my 2017 as far as reading goes. I got it for Christmas. And yeah, she picked a good book. It's the first of a duology. I think it's just the two books, with the second one being The Red Queen. And I have that one too, and I got it for Christmas as well, and I'm going to read it probably next month. I need to take a little bit of time between one book and another. I hate going from one book in a series to the next. I like to break it up just a little tiny bit. But the story follows Alice, as in Alice in Wonderland, and Hatcher, who I think is supposed to be a representation of the Mad Hatter. I'm not 100% sure. But it follows them as they escape from the hospital slash institution thing where they're being held for murders that they don't remember committing. They've been held there for, I think, probably about a decade is what they said. I can't remember the exact details, but they've been held there for almost a decade, and then they escape during a fire one night and begin a journey of murder and mayhem and death and destruction and all sorts of fun stuff like that while they try and figure out, or no, they try and destroy the Jabberwocky, which is some horrible monster thing which was held with them in the institution in the basement, and they're the only ones that can stop it because, you know, why not? Once I picked this book up, I literally could not put it down, except for one day where I did end up putting it down because my roommates were watching Switched at Birth and I'd never seen it before. And I was just kind of sitting in the living room with them, and they started watching it. I'm like, oh my god, this is my life now. And I lost so many hours of my life watching Switched at Birth. That was the only time I was able to put this book down. It had a very fun and whimsical way of describing all the murder and death and mayhem. It's like, you know, cutting someone's throat open or dismembered bodies. Just kind of cute and fun and something you see every day, and it's so sweet. And it's disturbing and jarring for sure. There was a lot of sex and death in that book. A lot of it. And thinking back on it, there's a lot of sex and death. There's a lot of death, but there's no sex without death. There's also a lot of rape torture scenes, and I have a feeling I have to wonder if, since Alice talks about the loss of her childhood and her innocence and stuff like that, because she's now 20 something when she's escaping the institution, she was like 13 or 14 when she got in there, that all the sexy rapey death scenes are sort of symbolic of a loss of innocence kind of thing. Maybe I'm reading too into it, maybe it's just rape torture. But I'd like to think that it has a more symbolic reason behind it. Just, you know, to make myself feel better, I guess. It was really fun to see the characters from the original story end up in their warped, twisted sort of murder machine sort of way. The caterpillar was just fucked up. That scene in his bordello, I think is the proper word for it, was messed up, and it was really good, and probably my favorite scene in the book, that whole part with the caterpillar, because that was just it's definitely not for the faint of heart or anyone who can't handle scenes of graphic violence. And honestly, if you are one of those people who are triggered by rape and torture and stuff like that, then really give this book a hard pass. But if you think you can handle all that stuff, then read it, because it's a fun read, and it's dark, and it's compelling, and it's fast too. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I really can't wait to read The Red Queen, but I'm going to until next month. Yeah, I guess that's it for this one. Subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it, all that fun stuff. Leave me a comment down below if you've read it and how you felt about it, and we'll just talk about it a little bit. There's a link down to my Goodreads channel below. I think there's one to a Twitter, but I don't use that Twitter. I should get better at it. If you follow it, I would probably use it more often. Maybe. I don't know. That's it. I'm done now. Bye.